to work on a fraction today, and let's see. I'm going to work on a fraction, this one right here. This fraction is 2/3. What fraction is that?
2/3.
2/3. Have you thought about 2/3 before?
Yeah, I've seen it come up a ton.
It does kind of come up a ton, right? You've probably seen it in school and all kinds of things like that. So I'm going to show the fraction 2/3. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use these fraction tiles, all right? So, and here is my whole. What is that right there?
It's a whole. It's a whole.
It's a whole.
Whole one.
It's a whole one, right? All right. And so I want to focus first on this 3. This 3 represents the denominator. What does it represent?
It represents the denominator. In other words, it's sections of this.
Yes, exactly. So we have to take that whole and we have to like break it into parts, right? And are those parts going to be equal size parts or?
Oh, equal size.
Yeah, they always have to be equal size parts. So I should have had this already out here, but I'm going to find my third pieces. And I want you to take this whole and I want you to break it or show me how we could break that into equal parts. What would that look like? Okay, let's get our other third out here. Awesome, and there's my other third. All right, so we've taken the whole and we broke it into how many parts?
3.
3. Now let's focus on the numerator. What is this right here?
2.
The 2, the numerator. So can you show me 2 of those 3 parts? What would that look like? 2. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and take that away. So what fraction did we just show there?
This is 2/3.
2/3. Now I have some questions about 2/3. So thinking about this model here, I want us to think about, this is if we assume that this is kind of 0 over here, and this is 1, all right? Is 2/3 greater than 1?
No.
No.
It's always because every time you go down to the higher numbers, it's always getting smaller.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about that, what you mean by higher numbers. Are you looking at the numerator or the denominator?
I guess I'm more talking about the denominator.
Yeah.
And that because since we're breaking it off into more pieces, it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Smaller and smaller. And if the numerator is a number that is less than the denominator, is this going to...
It gets bigger and bigger.
So what do you mean by bigger and bigger?
It can potentially get bigger since there's more parts to work with.
Yeah. So if I have a numerator of 1, then is 2/3 going to be bigger or smaller than 1/3?
It's going to be... Okay, say that again.
So if I have a numerator of 1, so let's say I had 1/3, so is 2/3 going to be greater or less than 1/3?
Oh, it's going to be greater.
Greater. What would be another fraction with a denominator of 3 that's going to be greater than 2/3?
3/3.
3/3? Can you think of another one?
2.5.
2.5? Oh, that's definitely going to be greater than 2/3. Now with this 2/3, since you told me it's less than 1, can you tell me, is that 2/3, is it going to be greater or less than 1/2? What's a way we can figure it out? Do you want to use the fraction tiles?
Well, this is 1/2.
Okay. So if I was thinking that this is 0 here and this is 1, and I wanted to think, I'm going to pick up your 1/2 piece. I wanted to ask myself if 2/3 is greater than 1/2. So is 2/3 greater than 1/2 or less than 1/2?
2/3 is greater than 1/2.
Yeah. How do you know that 2/3 is greater than 1/2?
Because since it's adding up 2 of the equal pieces to one of the bigger pieces, and since this only covers half, and this one covers a 0.5.
Yeah, so it kind of covers like more than a half, right?
Right.
So what I like to think about is when I have this 2/3, I'll go ahead and put it back here. When I have my 2/3, let's say that, have you worked with number lines before with your classroom teacher?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if I think I've got my number line, I'll go ahead and I could just draw this along here. All right. Just remember, number lines always keep going. Here my number line is 0. Here it means 1. So where does 2/3 fall in the number line? Falls about right there, right? Do you want to label that? And then where does 1/2 fall on my number line? You can go ahead and label that one too. Nice, I like your labeling there. So is 2/3 greater than 1/2 or less than 1/2?
2/3 is greater.
And how could you, like, if I wanted you to tell me why it's greater than 1/2 on the number line, what could you tell me?
It extends out farther to the 1
It
than
extends.
the half.
It extends out further, and so would you say that 2/3 has like a greater value than 1/2? Let me ask that question kind of in a different way. If you have 0 and if you have 1, which has a greater value, 0 or 1?
The 1.
Okay. If you have 0 and 1/2, which has a greater value, 0 or 1/2?
That 1/2.
1/2. Now let's think about if you have 1/2 and 2/3, which has a greater value?
2/3.
2/3. If I asked you, would you like 2/3 of a pizza or 1/2 of a pizza? Which would you like to have?
I would like to have the 2/3 of the pizza since I'm getting more pizza.
Yeah, you probably always want more pizza. I always want more pizza too. All right, that was awesome. So I've liked you showing 2/3 this way. Now I've got these fraction circles here. I bet your teacher has worked with you in the classroom. I want us to show the same fraction. We're going to focus on 2/3. So let me get my 2/3 pieces out. Do you see them here? Oh, there they are. You saw them before I saw them. Can you show me the fraction 2/3 with those? Okay, so what did you, oh, that's awesome. So put that back in there because I want to ask you a question about that. What did you show me right there?
It's a whole third.
It's a whole and it's broken into how many equal parts?
It's broken into 3 equal parts.
Fantastic. And then how did you show me 2/3?
By doing this.
I liked that.
And making it look like Pac-Man.
Yeah, kind of making it look like Pac-Man. So what fraction do you have there?
It's 2/3.
2/3. All right, so we'll leave that there. You can just keep your 1/3 piece to the side. I want to show you another way to show the fraction. So we've got 2/3 this way. We'll actually move our 1/2 there. We've got 2/3 this way, and then I can also show 2/3 this way. So imagine I have 3 counters. All right, that represents my denominator. What does it represent?
The denominator.
Denominator. And our denominator has what number in it?
It has 3.
3. So we wanted to have 3 parts. But what if I do this? What did I just show you there?
You have 2 red spots and 1 yellow, so it still means 2/3.
It still means 2/3. So what fraction did we show here with this, as I call my length model? What fraction did we show?
We showed 2/3.
2/3. This is what I call my area model because it's an area broken into equal parts. What fraction did we show?
2/3.
2/3. And then here we have our set model. What fraction did you show that way?
2/3.
2/3. So what's really cool is that we can show 2/3 in many different ways.